manoeuvring this around is probably, it's not a two-person job really, but it's easier with two. Definitely not something you want to be trying outside on the road when it's raining and you've got to have the front doors open. So the first thing we've got to try and do is get the fronts in the A-pillars. So that's the first bit. And I would say the mildly tricky bit. So if I just push this side and let it sit on the B pillars, then it's not going to sort of drop down on me. But it will allow us, or should allow us, to just manipulate the fronts in. You can take the A-pillars off, but it might come as a shock to you. They're a twat to put back on as well. In fact, they're a twat to take off. So at this moment, I'm trying to do it without taking them off. So that side's just over the A-pillar. So I'm just pushing this back and I'm just going to flex that corner over there without trying to crease it. And then you've got a sponge block in this corner which is trying to sort of resist you at all times, which is good. You need to keep it there because it's what keeps this in place. Right, so that's just dropped forward. That should be okay. We're not done yet. So having got the two front corners roughly in place, what I'm going to try and do next is just put the clips in. So you see the clips there, got a bit of fluff around it. So that needs to now go forwards to the point where that locks in there. And I think that was one clip. So it's one clip or one click on these center ones and then two clicks on the edge. That's already had one click anyway. So that's up. Now all we've got to do is sort of tuck these edges in. That one has found its way in anyway, so we're not really concerned about that. Sort of destructive bit. If you're trying to push this up, we haven't got this tucked in the door rubber yet, and definitely that's the last thing. And if you can just push that, that's gone behind now, so we've got that in place, and this could go back. Now the key to getting everything to sit right, having got this tucked behind the B pillar, this bit tucked behind the A pillar, the crunch to getting it all correctly seated is to open the door slightly and then massage this door rubber over the edge. So you're basically just trying to massage that over the edge and tuck this in. If you don't get that right, it'll never sit properly. But we'll do our best now, and then we're going to fit the shelf and screw it in place, and then we're going to have another go, because it does everything. It's all quite delicate, and as you move one thing, something else pulls. So yeah, put the camera in a sort of sensible-ish place. So, oh, fucking hell, man. Oh, to have a little film crew. And then my... Just remember you're dealing with a delicate headliner. Now this side here is sticking out. You can't see it from there, but it's nice at this point because you can see the original line that the rubber was sat on. So at this point, this fixing is going to pull this in a little bit. So we'll leave that for now. So the headliner's back up. Sides are reasonably good to be revisited. We can now put in a couple of the connections. So the main connection onto this block can go in. This connection can go into there. Forgot to put the two bungs in here. So they just push in. So the bungs are in. Now let's put this back up. Now, it'll sort of self-locate once you've got these pins into place. The pins on either side are loosely holding it in place. What I'm going to do at this stage is just get one of these screws in here, and then that will hold that in place and stop it landing on my head. And as long as you've got another screw in, it's not going anywhere. So basically we've got another screw to go in there, and then what I'll probably do is I'll put the two bolts in then next to the center console that hold the sun visors in. We may as well put these back now because we're done under there. So this bit you can hang in there, and then we can refit everything as it was. So that I think was clipped in there. Makes sense. You're right. On to the last phase of putting shit back together. So we've got to poke that one back in there. Doesn't want to go. Come on, boy, come on. Poke these two wires through. This one goes in this small clip on the side. I can't see. So that's in there. The 3-wire one clips in the back of here. So this one, there's 2 hooks here and 2 receivers. So flat against the windscreen, pull the receiver into it, and then just pop these home. Oh, come on. There's a couple of them that are quite stiff. Whew. So, the last panel, hook him on. These 2 are going into the light, so they're going to land in there. This little wire clip goes on the back there, and then this one sits on the front panel. The brown one sits on the front panel. We've got a couple of screws that are coming through here, so we just want to make sure the wire's out of the way of the screws. And then we've got this one locator screw, which is easy to forget, but that sits there. So now that's all together, we can put this in place, and it's funny, isn't it? Pushing something home and making sure nothing's going wrong, and your light decides to flash at exactly the time you're pushing it to tell you its battery's about to run out. Makes you think you've just shorted something out. So it goes up a lot better than it comes down. So we're back to one of the small T20s. So this one goes in this hole here, just to hold the panel up. So that one's in there, and then we've got the, put it down there. So we've got the light itself, which has got a microphone connection inside that foam, that way up. So they do apply this bit of foam for some reason, not sure what it is. And then we've got the big blue connection there. So they're in. Push that up and tuck the foam connection away. So it clicks into place, and then you've got 2 screws to put in. Lastly, just clip the cover in place. They've all timed out because the door's been open for 2 days. So that's all good. That's good. We're now up to the top section. So we've got the top section to deal with now. The centre section just slides in. Just make sure that these haven't pushed themselves up, because they're quite prone to it. There's nothing really stopping them apart from this one clip here. So that's in there. Push that up. That's good. These just pop in. We will probably be taking them out later on to put some switches in, and we can get some wires over here and down, so I haven't bothered doing that because it's just a general video on how to do this. That's in place. We've now got these end clips to put in. So the end clips have got the silver screw again, it's still got a T30 head, so align that. I'll leave the cap off because we might need to slacken it in a little bit just to get the headliner sat correctly in the rubber. And then we've got the weird sort of funky square block that goes in here. Really don't know why they couldn't have given you another screw, but there you go. So that goes in there. They'll only fit one way round. And then you've got the cover as well that just clips in. It's never a very convincing fit, that one. The same on the other side. We've got to go under and fit the sun visor. And to be honest with you, it's normally nowhere near as bad as when it comes out. Okay, this is fitting the sun visor. So what we're going to do is fit the sun visor now. Relatively straightforward if you haven't broken these. You just need to get it into position and push. There you go. So it clicks into place. And then the last thing you need to do then is put the screw in and put the bit of plastic back over. So this piece just clips under there. And probably best to put this little tab back, but it serves no purpose really other than making it slightly awkward to get on and off and stops you losing it. Now all of this is lovely and tucked under. So now the last thing on this side is to put the two fixings in place. So we've just got a screw to go in this side. Try to do this one-handed, but there you go. And then we've got the last piece on this side is the sort of square, I don't know what you'd call it really, like a square socket. That goes in only really one way, but it's the square side or the square opening facing back towards you. So that goes in there. It takes a little bit of a wiggle, but you almost got to have that square to the back. Push that in. And then lastly fit this cap. So that side's completely done. Just got this side to finish off. Clip that in. And then go underneath and put the other and then go back under and put the other sun visor up.